This teen mom gave birth to a baby in secret and then threw him away in a dumpster. Alexis Avila was living a happy, normal life until her teen years. She started struggling with her mental health, and she wasn't getting along with her parents, so nothing too out of the ordinary for a teenage girl. Yet. In 2021, Alexa was in her junior year of high school, and she gets into her first serious relationship with a boy named Steven. In early spring, Alexa and Steven wanted to do some trend that they saw on TikTok, where you take a pregnancy test. I don't know, but imagine the shock when it came back positive. They're only 17 and 16 years old. But instead of trying to be mature in the situation that they got themselves in, tell their parents, try to come up with a plan, they chose to just ignore it, hope it would go away, and just live life as normal. Alexis did not tell her parents, but she did tell some of her friends, and she told them that she was absolutely not keeping this baby. And not long later, there was a very serious altercation between Alexis, her boyfriend Steven, and some of her family members. In fact, both Alexis and her mom both called 911 to report that Steven had punched Alexis in the face. She later claimed that this was a lie, but honestly, who knows what happened? Alexis and Steven broke up, and she told him that he didn't have to worry about being linked to her forever because she lost the baby, which was a lie. Her lying about losing the baby to her baby's father when she did not lose the baby.
Makes me think that she was planning to do what she ultimately ended up doing to this for a very long time. Because what was her plan? She still hasn't told anyone. She hasn't gone to the doctors. What was her plan?
She does realize that she's eventually going to give birth. On December 22nd, 2021, Alexis celebrated her 18th birthday while 9 months pregnant, and no one knew. On January 7th, she went into labor. She woke up in the middle of the night in a lot of pain. She rushed to the bathroom, where she gave birth to a little baby boy, all by herself at only 18 years old. Alexis wrapped the little baby boy in a towel. She started heading out to her car, and on her way out, she grabbed a full bag of trash from her family's kitchen. She puts the bag of trash in the back seat, and then she puts the baby in the back seat. And then Alexis just drives around aimlessly for hours while her newborn baby, only a few hours old, is just crying alone in the back seat of the car. Eventually, Alexis pulls over and she puts her newborn baby that's still alive in the bag full of garbage, and then she tied up the bag. Alexis drives around for a while longer until she finds a shopping center, and she pulls around to the back of a department store at 2 p.m., and all within seconds, she stops the car. She grabs the bag of trash containing her newborn baby that's still alive, and then just carelessly throws it into the metal dumpster and drives away, and then went home, hoping that no one would find her baby. The garbage truck would come that would crush her baby, take his body to a landfill and fill, and no one would ever know that he existed, and she would just get away with everything. She wanted that baby to die, and he would have. He would have suffocated to death in the trash bag. He would have starved to death, freeze to death. It was winter, near freezing temperatures that day, or the garbage truck would come and crush him to death. But it didn't, because instead, fate stepped in, and a miracle happened. At 8 p.m., 6 hours after that newborn baby was tied in a garbage bag and chucked in the dumpster, 3 friends arrived at that dumpster to dumpster dive. See what cool or valuable things the department store had thrown away that day. As the 3 of them are sifting through the garbage that's in the dumpster, they start hearing a noise. There's something in this garbage. Thinking that it's an animal, they keep digging until they come across a garbage bag with a baby boy inside that was miraculously still alive. They call 911, and in the CCTV footage, you can see one of the 3 of them holding this little baby, a stranger, showing him more love and care than his own mother had. It did not take long for the police to find Alexis. Not only was her and her car on the CCTV footage literally committing attempted murder, but the trash bag that she put her baby in contained trash that had her name on it. She was brought in to be interrogated, and at first she tried to play dumb, but she eventually did confess. But she tried to excuse her actions, saying that she had just turned 18. She was scared, and she was just a baby.
You can't make this up. No, Alexis, you're 18 years old. You are an adult now. And there was only one scared baby in this case. And it wasn't even until the end of her very long interrogation that Alexis even bothered to ask if her baby was okay.
That newborn baby boy was brought to the hospital clinging to life. The woman that had given birth to him only a few hours later carelessly chucked him into a metal dumpster. And he hit the metal with his head, and he had cuts and bruises on his little head. He was starving, freezing, and blue and barely breathing. But I am pleased to tell you that he survived and he made a full recovery. And I don't get to say that quite often. Imagine the shock that Alexis's ex-boyfriend got, 16-year-old Steven, when he found out that he was a dad. Steven got full custody and his family helps him raise his son that he named a soul. Here's a picture of him on his first birthday.
In 2023, an 18-year-old Alexis was charged with child abuse and also attempted murder. She pleaded not guilty,
but was found guilty on all charges and was sentenced to 16 years in prison. So, by the time she would be released, Alexis would have spent nearly half her life behind bars. But after only serving 6 months in prison, Alexis's defense team filed an appeal, stating that she did not get a fair trial because of all the attention surrounding this case. And in October of 2023, Alexis was released from prison on bail, pending her appeal process, and that appeal process hasn't even concluded yet. Meaning it's been almost 2 years and she's still out on bail. Someone that's been found guilty of child abuse and attempted murder. I'm definitely interested to hear your thoughts on that. It's so crazy that she probably would have gotten away with this if those 3 people didn't choose to go dumpster diving that evening at that dumpster. She would have gotten away with it. That little precious boy would have lost his life.
And it's so crazy thinking about all the other times something just like this happened and no one ever found out. Definitely let me know all your thoughts and opinions on this case in the comments section. And please let me know what case you want to see me cover next. Thank you to everyone that suggested that I cover this case today. Please be a good person to your fellow person. I will see you guys all next time in my next video.